Stuart's brother died suddenly last year, and it changed everything for him. For years, Stuart had been busy, really busy. Meetings, emails, projects, deadlines, always moving, always doing something important. But he wasn't clear. He couldn't tell you what actually mattered. He couldn't tell you what he was building toward. He just knew he was exhausted. And when his brother was gone, suddenly none of the busy stuff made sense anymore. The meetings he'd stressed over didn't matter. The emails he'd stayed up late answering, forgotten. The projects he'd pushed himself to finish, already replaced by new ones. What mattered was the time he didn't spend with his brother, the conversations they didn't have, the moments he traded for work that didn't need him. That's when Stuart understood. He didn't have a productivity problem. He had a clarity problem. Hi, I'm Victor, Stuart Victor's AI clone. Stuart founded Time Savior after spending 20 years in marketing watching people, including himself, drown in work that looked productive but wasn't meaningful. Stuart develops every framework you see on this channel. AI tools change weekly, and Stuart only shares what's working right now, not what used to work. Today, I'm going to walk you through the difference between productivity and clarity, because most people are optimizing the wrong thing. They're trying to do more, faster, when what they actually need is to do less, better. Let's get into it. So here's the trap most of us fall into without even realizing it. We measure productivity by activity. How many emails did I send? How many meetings did I attend? How many tasks did I check off? How many hours did I work? More equals better. Busy equals productive. Full calendar equals important. Except it doesn't, because activity isn't the same as progress. You can send 50 emails and accomplish nothing. You can attend 8 meetings and make 0 decisions. You can check off 20 tasks and still not move the needle. Activity is easy to measure. Progress is much harder. So we default to measuring activity. And then we wonder why we feel busy but not fulfilled. Here's what nobody tells you. You can be wildly productive and completely unclear about what you're actually building. An unclear productivity is just expensive busy work. Let me break down what I mean by that, because there's a real difference between productivity and clarity that most people miss. Productivity asks, how do I do this faster? Clarity asks, should I be doing this at all? Productivity optimizes execution. Clarity optimizes direction. Productivity is about tools, systems, and efficiency. Clarity is about priorities, purpose, and intention. Both matter, but clarity comes first, because if you're unclear about what matters, being productive just means you're efficiently doing the wrong things. It's like getting really good at climbing a ladder that's leaning against the wrong wall. Impressive effort, wrong building. So the question becomes, how do you actually get clear? Stuart uses 3 questions with every client, and they're deceptively simple. First question, what actually moved forward this week? Not what you did, not how busy you were, what actually progressed. Most people can't answer this clearly. They'll say things like, I had a lot of meetings. I answered a ton of emails. I worked on several projects. That's activity, not progress. Progress is specific. We signed 2 new clients. We launched the new feature. We made the hire we've been trying to make for 2 months. If you can't name what moved forward, you were busy, but you weren't productive in the ways that matter. Second question, what's taking time but not creating value? This is where time leaks linger and lurk. Every business has them. Tasks that feel necessary but don't actually move anything forward. For example, meetings that could have been emails, emails that didn't need responses, reports nobody reads, approvals that don't need your sign-off, processes that exist because we've always done it this way. Most of this stuff is invisible until you ask the question directly. What am I doing that doesn't actually need me? And here's the third question, and this one's brutal. If I could only work on 3 things next week, what would they be? This is the constraint question, because it forces you to choose, not 10 priorities, not 5, 3. If you had to cut everything else, what would you keep? That's where clarity lives. Most people can't answer this without hedging. They'll say things like, well, I really need to do all of these. No, choose three. Because here's the truth, you're already choosing. You're just not doing it consciously. Your calendar is choosing for you. Your inbox is choosing for you. Other people's urgency is choosing for you. Clarity is taking that choice back. Now, there's something else I need to explain here, because not all wasted time is the same. Stuart talks about time leaks versus time theft, and understanding the difference changes everything. Time leaks are inefficiencies, friction, repetitive tasks, poor workflows, tool sprawl. Here are some examples: copying and pasting data between tools, searching for files you can't find, waiting on approvals that don't need to be approvals, doing the same task manually every week when it could be automated. Time leaks are fixable with systems, with automation, with better processes. They're annoying, but they're solvable. Time theft is different. Time theft is spending hours on things that don't matter, working on the wrong priorities, saying yes to things you should decline, doing work that doesn't need you because nobody else has been empowered to do it, attending meetings because you're worried about missing something. Time theft isn't about efficiency, it's about misalignment, and you can't automate your way out of misalignment. You have to get clear. Here's the hard part. Most people focus on time leaks because they're easier to see. If I could just automate this one thing, if I could just find a better tool, if I could just get more organized. But time leaks aren't your biggest problem. Time theft is, because you can optimize all the systems you want. But if you're optimizing the wrong work, you're still losing. So what does clarity actually look like in practice? Let me paint you a picture. Clarity is knowing your top 3 priorities every Monday morning. Not guessing, not reacting, knowing. Clarity is being able to say no to good opportunities because they don't align with what matters right now. Clarity is looking at your calendar and seeing intention, not just obligations. Clarity is ending the week and being able to name what actually moved forward. Clarity is not feeling guilty about what you didn't do because you're confident about what you did. That's clarity. And here's what most people miss. Clarity doesn't come from working harder. It comes from thinking harder about what matters, about what doesn't, about where you're going and why. And most of us don't create space for that thinking. We're too busy being productive. So let me give you 3 practical steps you can take starting this week. First, run a weekly priority audit. Every Sunday or Monday morning, before you look at your calendar, before you open your inbox, answer this. What are my top 3 priorities this week? Write them down. Be specific, not work on the project. That's far too vague. Finish the client proposal and send it by Wednesday. Hire a VA and delegate email triage. Ship the new feature to beta users. 3 things: clear, specific, concrete. Second, do a daily reflection. At the end of each day, ask, did I work on one of my top 3 priorities today? If yes, good. Keep going. If no, why not? What got in the way? This isn't about guilt. It's about pattern recognition. If you're consistently not working on your priorities aren't the problem. Your boundaries are. Third, run a time theft audit. Once a week, look at your calendar and ask, what did I spend time on that didn't actually need me? Write it down. Then ask, how do I delegate this, delete this, or decline it next time? This is how you reclaim hours, not by working faster, by working on the right things. Now, I need to be honest with you about something. Getting clear means saying no to good things. It means disappointing people who expect you to say yes. It means letting go of work that you're good at, but that doesn't actually move the needle. It means admitting that a lot of what you've been doing doesn't matter as much as you thought it did. That's uncomfortable, because we've been taught to equate busy with valuable, but busy isn't valuable. Impact is, and impact requires clarity. Clarity about what matters, clarity about what doesn't, clarity about where you're going and why. You can't automate clarity. You can't delegate clarity. You can't buy clarity from a tool. You have to create it. And creating it requires space, time, reflection, which is exactly what most of us don't have because we're too busy being productive. If you want to see where you are right now, how clear your priorities actually are, where your time leaks and where your time is being stolen, what's realistic given your current capacity, Stuart built a diagnostic for that. It's called Chronos. It's free and it only takes 8 minutes. It measures 6 dimensions: where your attention goes, where you're the bottleneck, how mature your processes are, how ready you are for AI, where you could delegate, and how much cognitive capacity you actually have. You'll get a personalized report showing your biggest clarity gaps and what to fix first. The link is in the description below. And if this video helped you see productivity differently, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We're putting out a new video every week on practical AI implementation and time reclamation for founders. No fluff, just frameworks that work. There's also a full breakdown video where Stuart walks through how he helps clients move from productivity to clarity. That's linked in the description too, because here's the truth. Most of us don't have a productivity problem. We have a clarity problem. Fix the clarity and the productivity follows. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.